Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
A massive thank you and shout out to our sponsors for this video, Who Knows Wins. One of the best things about Who Knows Wins is that unlike traditional accumulators, you do not have to get every single prediction right to win. The more predictions of scores you get right, the better, the higher up the standings you go. If you come in first place, you're taking home a whopping 70% of the pot. Second place gets 20%, and even if you come third, you're still taking home 10% of the pot. The bigger the pot, the more players are. It makes sense. Play for real money, but most importantly, bragging rights between you and your friends. Who knows the most? Who Knows Wins. Remember, of course, you have to be 18 years or older to play Who Knows Wins, and don't forget, gamble responsibly. Use the link in the description now, whack in our unique pin, and join this week's league on Who Knows Wins. Join the Kop TV League, and we'll see you there. Take care.
Yes, good evening and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all doing well. A huge match on Sunday, a huge match preview to go with it. And of course, this time I am joined by Matisse. Big up to you, sir, in the building. Chelsea fan, how are you, fella?
Thank you, bro. Terrible timing for us both, but here we are.
Well, it might make it interesting at least. Big up to our sponsors, Who Knows Wins, for sponsoring this video. Like I said, guys, if you join the Pick 10 League this week on Who Knows Wins, as you can see, the pot currently stands at a whopping £5,000. 64 people have entered. If you come in first, you're taking home £3,000. And if you beat me, my match picks, guys, you're taking home some Liverpool match tickets. You're taking home some AirPods, some Apple ones as well, the proper stuff, and some Kop TV unreleased merch as well. Some really big stuff. Coventry-Luton was the first game. That's been postponed. But Leicester, Norwich, I've gone for a win. Again, can you beat me? Join the link in the description to see if you can. Tottenham away win at Watford. Matisse, I've gone for a West Ham away win at Palace. I've also gone for another away win, Villa at Brentford, which could be a tough one for Villa. Everton, Brighton, I've gone for a draw just because I love to rattle the Everton fans. Leeds, I've gone for a home win against Burnley. I've gone for a Southampton win at home against Newcastle, as Gus, my dog, seems to think it's okay to bark in the background. Cardiff, I've gone for an away win at West Brom. And of course, the big one at the bottom, a Liverpool away win at Stamford Bridge to make it 3 on the bounce. I've got Matisse here. How do you react to those picks, bro?
Well, the Everton one is obvious. I was expecting that. In fact, I'm surprised you didn't go with an Everton defeat. So fair play.
Well, I gave him a bit of, gave him a draw. Wasn't too bad on that.
And I've got a lot of respect, newfound respect for Brighton. Do you know what I mean?
Well, so do I, unfortunately. And I'm going for them to get a draw. And of course, we will get into the score predictions for the Chelsea game. But of course, on Who Knows Wins, I've gone for a Liverpool win. So guys, if you do want to join, use the link in the description. Join the competition and win some money, but win some prizes as well. What a way to start the new year. Gus, you're going mad, you know. I'm going to have to bring you up and show you to Matisse because I can't have you running around like this.
Adorable.
Kind of madman. So Gus is just going to chill here for a bit whilst I do the match preview, aren't you, G? Yeah, little G. Got Matisse here. We've got to behave. Right, Matisse, you're on the channel for the last preview. Fortunately, maybe for you, it was a 1-1 draw at Anfield. You were giving it all this. You were saying you love a shithousery performance at Anfield. You wanted to see a repeat of the slip. To be honest, bro, it was a bit of a stalemate in the end. Hopefully, we can get more goals and a bit more excitement in this game. I wanted to show you this, though, and it's not the best reading for Chelsea fans as we get into the match preview here. Remember, guys, if you are watching us live, please comment, subscribe. And if you haven't already, and of course, like the video, and please go ahead and follow Matisse as well. He's big on the Big Six. Everyone getting involved in the comments with you now about that. But I wanted to show you this, bro. It's 59 games we've played now in the Premier League together. Quite close. 21 wins for Chelsea, 23, 14 home wins for Chelsea, 15 home wins for Liverpool. Again, 7 away wins for Chelsea, and Liverpool just nick it there with 8 away wins, and there's been 15 draws. A lot of draws in this game. But the reason why I say it's not good reading for Chelsea fans, if you look here, the last 2 Premier League visits to Stamford Bridge have been Liverpool wins. Now, before that, though, I can't lie, before that, it was a tough place for Liverpool to go. Recently, it's been a bit of a better hunting ground for us. And as you can see here, Salah way out in front in terms of both teams' goal scorers. We've got the top three actually. In terms of passes, Rudiger stands out, and obviously Jorginho is having a great season too, as is Azpilicueta, who might be going to Barcelona. We'll talk about that. But in terms of this fixture, we've spoken about it a million times, how big it is, Matisse. Yeah. Why have we been allowed to come to Stamford Bridge the last 2 times and pull your pants down?
Unfortunately, it's because Chelsea in the last couple of years have not, they haven't had the team to compete for the league, let alone even beat some of the big teams, which is disappointing. I think since Tuchel's come in, though, we have been better against the big teams last season. Obviously, we played you guys at Anfield. Played Manchester City in the Champions League, the Cup as well. But unfortunately, before that, Lampard had a shocking record against the Big Six, so-called, and also, you know, Sarri as well. We finished third. We weren't brilliant that year. You guys have obviously been involved in quite a few title races. So it's a slight decline on the team. There's a lot of improving to do, though, I must say, in terms of just us currently. We've got injuries going in as well. We're in poor form. Didn't play great. I was at the game against Brighton, and we managed to bottle that. There's no better way of putting it. Brighton, you know, get the late equaliser with Danny Welbeck. And Chelsea, once again, toothless and don't get the second goal, don't close the game. And I find myself repeating myself quite often when I'm watching Chelsea games on my watch-alongs and stuff. I'm saying, yes, we're dominating possession. Yes, we're 1-0 up or we're 0-0 and we've had chances, but we're not getting that goal. We're not getting that final finish to wrap up the game and make the game more comfortable. We do leave the door open. So that's the current situation we're in. I'm not confident going into this game just purely because now I know the wing-back situation. Reece James is out. Chilwell's out. It's a big way in terms of the way we play. And Azpilicueta and Alonso, if we do stick to the same formation, it's a very difficult watch, I must say.
Yeah, 1 win in 5 home games for Chelsea, which is almost the opposite of what you actually have learned to know about Chelsea. So strong at home. But it's been unbelievable to see how not only Chelsea, but teams like Liverpool as well have just thrown away so many games. You look at Brighton, you look at other games that we've both really struggled with. We just can't finish these games off. And it seems like City are the ones who can. And that's why you and I, Chelsea and Liverpool, are a bit off the pace right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that record that you're talking about at home, it's nuts. And we both only had 2 defeats this season. It's the draws that are killing us. I mean, Burnley at home, United at home, Everton at home, Wolves away, Brighton at home. They're just gone. It's so many draws we're racking up, and it's going to cost us. I mean, for me, the title race is very much done for us. I think the Brighton game for me showed us that. Yeah, it's not going to be for us this year in terms of, and I was really just hoping for us to compete. Yeah,
so you're fully ruling yourself out now.
I remember on the Big Six last year, I spoke about Liverpool's injuries, and I said that's the only reason why they weren't in the title race last year is the amount of injuries. When you had all your centre backs out, then you moved the midfielders into defence and you compromised the midfield, and then the strikers couldn't score either. And then you went on that run at home that was obviously mad, and Burnley, etc. And obviously Chelsea are not on that level title-wise season in, season out for Liverpool. But before all of these cases and these injuries, Chelsea were top. They were competing. I could say Chelsea are competing minimum, if at nothing else. But since these injuries, these cases, Chelsea's depth, and we've got a lot of players, but the lack of quality and depth has really shown. And it's not even just about the depth, because people say to me, oh, well, when you put a starting 11 out, it's still really, really good. And 100%, it's still a good senior lineup and still very expensive. But unfortunately, when you're constantly picking up injuries, even if it's for 3-4 weeks or 2-3 weeks, you're just 3-4 changes here, they're back, 3-4 changes here, they're back. And it's just constant rotation and no chemistry, and therefore just poor performances. We should still be beating Everton. We should still be beating Burnley. I think West Ham away, you know, you can lose to West Ham. Fine, you know, they're a good team. They put some respect on their name. Yeah, Wolves away, again, good team. You guys just got past them. Man City just got past them with 10 men. Those 2 games, West Ham and Wolves away, I'm less angry. It's more the Everton at home game, which regardless of who's out, regardless of how many changes, we have to win that game against Everton's like Z team, and Burnley and games like that. So we're just not looking like as if we're going to be able to handle it. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And unless the next 2 games we win, which is against you and against Man City, which I highly doubt, then it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think for us, we have to beat you and Man City to win this league. For you, you have to beat us and Man City to win this, to stand any chance of winning this league. And the
Yeah.
title I've gone for today, that this is a must-win game for both teams, and it almost goes back to that 0-3-0-4 game where Gronkiar scores. Both teams had to win that game so badly, and I think Chelsea's future, actually, if that game didn't happen, might have been very different if you weren't in the Champions League for the 0-4-0-5 season when you did get taken over. So there's so much riding on this. Listen, it's not the end of the season. There's still a long way to go. But if we're to get anywhere in this title race, we have to take 3 points on Sunday. It's an absolute must. And it's going to be the same for you guys. Channing says, big up to Ma. Been watching you since day one. So big up to you, Channing. Big up to everyone getting involved in the comments. Man like Bommy says, all he sees is a draw. Have you seen the Lukaku stuff, says Josh. What's this Lukaku stuff he talks about?
I'll read it out to you, bro, because I've just been tagged in it. And I'm absolutely shocked, but I'll read it out anyway.
Breaking news on the Kop TV.
Fabrizio Romano, just less than 10 minutes ago. We're having a shocking morning. Last night was a shit flinging contest between Chelsea fans in terms of who to blame, attackers, and if I'm going to keep it a buck for Chelsea fans, all the attackers can't finish outside Lukaku. But this quote from Lukaku, physically I'm fine, but I'm not happy with the situation at Chelsea. Tuchel has chosen to play me in another system. I won't give up. I'll be professional. I'm not happy with the situation, but I am professional. I can't give up now.
Wow.
Mad.
What does that mean?
Well, I've praised this guy's mentality since he came in. You know, he's had great quotes prior. He's been he's at the pinnacle of his powers for himself in his own career. He had a great season last year, and I'm back and I'm better. I support Chelsea. I want to be I want to prove those Man United fans wrong that called me a flat track bully, that called me Timberland boots, etc., that I can actually do the business and win a Premier League title. If he does walk out of this club without putting up a serious fist fight, I'm going to be so disappointed and so shocked, because this guy, yes, he was brilliant in Italy, but clearly he's still got things to prove in England. He was doubted at the start of the season. I gave him, all of my confidence, all of my backing. I think he's definitely improved since he was at Manchester United. He definitely isn't weighing the same. He's definitely slimmed down. He's definitely was great for Belgium in the Euros. He's done his business, and I'm backing him. But if he can't even back himself, then bloody hell, then it's a wrap, isn't it? So
hang on, I'm struggling to get my head around this.
Same.
Where has this come from? Who's he given this interview to? Is there any misquotes here, or is that direct? Because that, to me, it's not putting your tools down, but you're basically saying there's big problems here, big problems, and I'm not happy. I mean, why would you say that at this stage of the season? I
have no idea. I think this is with this conversation is with Sky Sport, and it's from Fabrizio Romano. So it is legit because he can't get things wrong. And also the rest of the quote, is I really hope from the bottom of my heart to return to Inter, not at the end of my career, but when I'm still at the top level, to win more together. I will apologize to the Inter's fans. Timing of my words was wrong. What did you what you did for me will remain forever.
It sounds like a desperate plea back to an ex-girlfriend. I mean, I thought Chelsea was his club. I thought it was his dream of making it at Chelsea. How are you going to... I mean, listen, I'm far from a Chelsea fan, but these are actually shocking quotes that are coming out here.
It's not even the end of it.
Especially for someone that literally had just signed a massive contract. You've just come back and you're not saying you're happy, and you're saying you want to go back to Inter. Oh my goodness, I can't believe
there's a whole book on, like, the amount of quotes is ridiculous, bro. It's actually a whole monologue. Just more quotes saying that he'll 100% return to Inter. I am in love with Italy. This is the right moment to talk and let people know what really happened. What happened last summer wasn't meant to happen like this. How I left Inter, the way I left the club. For me, it's, I don't know. I have, there's this thing with Belgian players in particular for Chelsea, just constantly talking in the media. We had it with Thibaut Courtois. We always knew Hazard was going to go to Real Madrid. It's honestly tiring. But for these quotes to come out when you've just scored in back-to-back games, back-to-back man of the matches, You've done your business. Chelsea fans are happy with you. We've got our own other players to be. Yeah, we've got more than enough other players to be, getting angry at. Who, Christensen seems like he's not going to sign his contract, so he's going to leave at the end of the season. Rudiger's leaving. Aspilicueta's leaving as well. All three of them don't seem to be signing new contracts. And then, now these quotes come out as well. So
I can't believe this. This is just
this club is very entertaining, bro.
It is. There's never a dull day in the Premier League. I tell you that, especially at Chelsea. I mean, the timing, the conviction, the snakiness of it all, especially after they've just backed you for what, the second time in your career, paid over the odds probably to bring you from Inter Milan to Premier League to really round off your Premier League career. And you go back and say that. And for me, it's not even like one of them ones where you drop a few hints. This guy has come out and said it from the chest that he wants to leave basically and go back to Inter. So I'm not surprised by Matisse's reaction here. If I was a Chelsea fan right now, I would be absolutely fuming at these timing, everything about these quotes. And like Matisse said, he said a lot there. Yeah, big problems. And obviously, big up to Mo Mokhtar, who gets involved with Super Chat. The other team that we are both obviously chasing now is Manchester City, who did win again. Well, it wasn't a convincing victory, was it, yesterday? It was a slim one, but it was their 10th win in a row. And I'd think if Manchester City are capable of putting 10, 15 wins together in a row, is the league done almost? Are they going to win it?
Yeah, they really are, bro. I mean, they're dominating. Year in, year out, they know how to put points together. They know how to put seasons together. And once again, this season, despite not having an out-and-out striker, they managed to find a way. And it is really Pep's expertise in terms of dominating league campaigns and turning leagues into farmers' leagues, quote unquote, because the guy just seems to always find a solution. Last season, he goes to Anfield with Gundogan up front, and I'm like, there's no way. Yeah. This season, he goes against PSG with Zinchenko. I'm like, no way. He doesn't. It doesn't matter who's up front. His attacking system is so good. It doesn't actually matter who plays up front anymore, and it's nuts because we all thought maybe they needed Harry Kane, and the fact that they didn't get Harry Kane would leave the door open. Erling Haaland's contract's running out this summer. God knows if they even if they dare even touch that, man, it's definitely a wrap for the next few years again. But they just look unstoppable, and it's the way that they play. It's so fluid and so interchangeable. It doesn't really matter who's up front. And we've just seen the way that he's sold Ferran Torres. He's so ruthless. You want to leave? You want to go? Be happy. Leave.
And it doesn't even look like in January they're even going to replace him with a winger, with a striker. Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen with Man City? They could get a lot better, which is one of the scary things. What is this reaction going to be like with Lukaku now on Sunday? Because obviously, former Everton player, he's not going to get the best reception from us. But I mean, how do you now get behind him once he's making comments like that? Because to me and to you, he's just thrown all of his toys out the pram there. I just can't get over this. I mean, normally there's a bit of flirting with these back and forths, a bit of hint play. But again, like I said, the reason I can't believe it this much is because he's just come out and said what he said. So massive here from Chelsea and Lukaku in particular. Let me get into a little team prediction for Liverpool because in the last game, the rumours were that Thiago was back. But was maybe just fatigued a little bit with some muscle soreness and didn't play the game. For me personally, he has to go back in today. You saw that impact that he had when he came on against you guys here last season at Stamford Bridge, pinging the ball around. Unfortunately, was absolutely clattered in the next game after that by Richarlison. But we could see in that game how good he was. And I think the last 16 games that he's played for Liverpool, we've won all of them. So Thiago in this Liverpool team makes real sense now. So I'm going to go with Alisson in goal. Again, I mean, one of the titles in one of the fan cams recently was, and I hated writing this when I did this title from a fan cam. It said Alisson has a mistake in him, and I didn't want that to be the title, but unfortunately, it's been proved pretty correct in the last couple of weeks. Alisson been a bit shaky. But nonetheless, obviously, he goes in with Trent, Matip, who's easily been our best defender this season, alongside Virgil. And Tsimikas has to play there as well. Because that Leeds game was cancelled, it now means that Robbo misses this Chelsea game. In the midfield, you have to have Fabinho, you have to have Henderson, you have to have Thiago. Even though there were signs or some rumours today that Thiago, Alisson and Fabinho all missed training, and Minamino apparently. We'll get some more clarification on that tomorrow. And then up front, it has to be Jota, Mane and Salah. And I say Mane, even though he hasn't scored in the last 10 or assisted in the last 10 for Liverpool, which is his worst run of form, 13 and a half hours without anything. He does like scoring goals at Stamford Bridge, scored 2 here last season. Even though he's in a horrible run of form, is he still a player that you look at and think this guy could come alive any second here? Because we think that as well, but it just hasn't happened recently.
Yeah.
After a good start to the season as well.
For you guys, it's I don't really know what to put my finger on it, because you guys score goals. You know, I think Mane is a conversation that will be interesting for Liverpool fans as well, because he, for the last year and a bit, he has been underperforming. And it's funny because if he was in our team, he'd be our top scorer and we'd probably be having a statue outside right now for him, because when we talk about goals, like, your standards for goal scorers are a lot higher than ours. We had Jorginho as our top goal scorer last season on penalties in the Premier League, and Mason Mount is our top scorer this season. But I just feel like Mane is got to pull his weight a bit more in that front three. You know, Jota's getting his goals. Salah's obviously top scorer right now. You need Mane to put those chances as well, because that is where you get your goals, is in the front three. The chance creation comes from the wing, from the fullbacks. Tsimikas, I have to praise the scouting from Olympiacos there. The guy's come out of nowhere for 12 million and looks brilliant. I do think there's sometimes a lack of control in midfield, but you've had quite a few injuries there, and Thiago's meant to do that job for you. But then I always said that Harvey Elliott was the replacement for Wijnaldum, for Klopp. Maybe not for a lot of people, but that was meant to be what it is. And the fact that Harvey Elliott, who in my opinion started the season so well, he looked really, really good against us at Anfield. I was like, oh, this is like, he was lovely. He was drifting into the right channel, cutting on his left, and he was that link between the midfield and the attack. Kind of like, not going to compare him quality-wise to Coutinho, but that's the mold of player that he looked like he was trying to be.
Almost like a David Silva. And again, you can't compare them, but because he's small and left-footed, and he started the first 3 games in the season, he did so well. I don't think anyone saw that move coming, but I think you're right there, man. I
think people so that injury in particular kind of underplays, you know, the midfield balance in mind, because I think Ox is nice, but he's been very injury prone. I don't think he's of the level of some of your other midfielders that you've had. And I do think the engine room for Klopp is the midfield. That is the area of the pitch where this whole system and pressing system comes from. They're the workhorses that cover the fullbacks. They're the guys that have got to cover the spaces when you throw men forward. So I think he's been a big miss as well. Defensively, you haven't been as strong as I expected this season. Those goals shipped to maybe Brentford, West Ham, especially when Van Dijk is back now, but obviously he's coming back from the massive injury, Konate. So, but one thing with Liverpool that is a bit of a worry that I would say for Liverpool fans is the age of the team. Like, a lot of the best players are 30, they are 31, they are like in their prime. So they need to win the title this season. I think it's probably even more important that you guys win the title than us, because you have just that one title. Yeah, it's like, it's for this cycle. Do you know what I mean? And we don't know if Klopp will do another cycle, how he feels about all of it. But in this cycle, you just got one Prem, and obviously 97 points for me. That for everyone, that's a winning title season. But again, Man United losing the last day to City, Aguero. No one's going to look back on it like that. They're just going to say you didn't win it. But you have to get a second title under your belt, because this is kind of like you and City's era of like the 2 top teams, Champions League finals twice, Europa League final, and Premier League, minimum 3 seasons up there, like really neck and neck. Last season injuries, you have to get that second Premier League title. So I'm not really sure what's gone wrong, because you guys are always very attacking and very, you're a big threat. But this season, I think City they're not really normal. Like, you guys have improved on your points from last year. I looked, so have we. Yeah. But City have just blown everybody up. Like, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
And you know what? They didn't even start that well as well. They started slow, which is kind of their style. They grow into it. But listen, I've done my team prediction. Let's get into yours, because again, after these Lukaku comments, and we will react to them again, Rabadam, big up to you. We will react to them again. But after that, and after the news that maybe there's some more injuries lurking around, obviously Chilwell's out for the whole season. Maybe Azpilicueta one eye on leaving Chelsea as well. Who do you go with, and who's even available, considering Tuchel's comments about injuries, COVID? I mean, I feel sorry for Tuchel, and I do feel sorry for Klopp. I think they've both, everyone's saying they're whining and they're whinging. I think they've both got valid arguments. But who is he going to go with on Sunday?
For me, for Chelsea, I really just hope that there's a team to put out. Like, it's so unpredictable these days. Every 5 minutes, we've got someone new injured, someone out. The wing backs, if we do, this is probably prime time to actually look at change of formation, but I don't know if there's days in between for Chelsea to really say, we're going to, train these guys up to play a back four and play in the same style. Last time we made any minor change against a top team was Man City at home, and we got absolutely dominated that game. Yes, we only lost 1-0, but it was an absolute walkover. So we probably have to stick with the same formation. It will probably be Christensen's out. It'll probably be Trevor. Hopefully Silva's back. Rudiger, I think he's fine for this game as well. Mendy in goal. Azpilicueta, Alonso. That wing-back pairing is going to be the death of us with Mane and Salah's pace. And obviously going forward, they're not great either. So for me, that's where the game will probably be lost if we do lose. Midfield, Kante, it should be fine. Kova should be fine. I think Jorginho has been a little bit all over the place recently, playing on painkillers. And then up front, it's meant to be Lukaku, but I really don't know what the hell is going on. Probably still go with Lukaku and just wait for some clarity on these quotes before I really throw the book at it. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I want to hear is Tuchel's opinion on Lukaku and where's this coming from. But right now, I remember last time the last time I felt like this was probably Rudiger. Last January, there was loads of drama around Rudiger's name and lots of really concrete reports from concrete, reliable journalists about, behind the scenes actions under Lampard and all the kind of like difficulties and back and forths there. And I was one of the people that was like, yo, Rudiger's got to go. And he's going to end up going now anyway. But that was part of his kind of difficult, bad relationship with the club, the board, and maybe why he didn't sign the contract. Now, Lukaku, with those quotes, I absolutely hate it when players talk like that publicly, especially at Chelsea, because I don't feel like we're a feeder club. I think there's certain clubs, yes, maybe in Arsenal with Fabregas, Adebayor, or Clichy, you can feel a type of way where that happens often. But at Chelsea, we don't have a situation where players are, dreaming of going elsewhere. We only had it really with Hazard, but he was still respectful for the entire 7 years he was here, kind of like a Ronaldo Man United situation. We very, very rarely get disrespected publicly for players wanting to go elsewhere, especially for Inter Milan, who have declined so massively over the last decade. So not really impressed with that. He will be in my team and just for the next few minutes as we discuss, but it's rapidly changing in my head as we talk. If Kai's fit, I'm very tempted to go Kai because I can't see how mentally Lukaku's here for the game. But I don't know when his interview even took place. It's just so it's madness. I definitely need some more context, but it's nuts.
Yeah, to see that you actually reacted to that news on this show is just mental. I mean, I think it's Sky Sport Italia that he's been speaking to. Let's bear in mind, he's literally just left Inter for what was it, a 70, 80?
Yeah, bro. We spent 100 million, bro, on this guy.
On this guy. So
and it's his second time at the club. He's coming back. He's coming back here. This is his boyhood dream, bro. The amount of I'm gonna get memed to shit, but it's fine. It is what it is. It's the football community. Lukaku's boyhood club is Chelsea. He's got the stamp. He's got the top. He's got the Anderlecht field trip with the school kids in year 9 or year 11. I dream to play here. I love it here. I want to be the next Drogba, bro. What is these quotes? What are you actually doing? It's insane. I really don't understand what's going on. I'm so confused. If it was a player that didn't dream of playing for Chelsea and didn't want to be here prior, then I'd be like, cool, sack him off, keep it moving. This happens. It's modern day football. But for a player who's been dreaming and praying and hoping to play for Chelsea, this is probably the second time he wanted to come back. This time we managed to make it happen on a record fee. You're meant to be spearheading our attack. I'm not a fan, man. And I've just finished cussing Aubameyang for his unprofessionalism over the last few months at Arsenal as a captain, as a senior, who's effed up a lot of their young players around him in terms of just the way he acts and doesn't put himself at the highest standard to allow Arsenal to progress and be a club that is at least, you know, moving in the right direction. You're meant to be one of the talisman, the leaders, and setting examples, not doing, you know, being late to games and all this extra stuff. Lukaku's unprofessionalism, I'm not gonna take it.
No, you can't have that. And again, it goes back to no player is bigger than the club. Player power has just become crazy now. So yeah, you might have these legally binding contracts and record fees over your head, but you come out and make a quote like that, all of a sudden, that's all forgotten about. And you can almost choose where you're going to go. And you decide where. I think maybe in years gone by, it's been the club that has more of a say. So I think personally, as it says here, big up to Scoliwi, I think that's your name. Sorry, bro, if I've mispronounced that. But he says something must have happened after the Brighton game. I mean, to concede that late in the game, obviously Welbeck scores, does a little number on you as an former Arsenal player. There must have been some big words in the changing room after, because obviously Lukaku was the guy that scored the goal. As you said, 2 man of the match performances in a row. On the surface, everything looks sweet and dandy, but clearly not. And this isn't something to me that's maybe just sprung up now. This is something that's actually been building up. Obviously, he has been injured as well, but this is something that looks like it's been bubbling away for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. I have no idea, man. I don't even know how he's even had time to even sit down and do an interview with Sky Italia. This is not... If it was international break, then I would understand where he's had the time to go and talk and things to be, you know, maybe misinterpreted. But I highly doubt that. He's a great speaker of English. In fact, he likes to throw in an American accent on top of it as well, just to make things fancy. So I don't know where he... He's very clever guy. Yeah, I've seen him do a podcast. He definitely knows how to talk. So I'm not sure where he's even found the time to do these quotes, but it must be. I can only assume it's been before the games where he scored, because I don't understand why you'd score and get man of the match in back-to-back games and play well, and then come out and say stuff like this. And a Brighton draw shouldn't provoke you to come and talk like this. It's football. You're going to drop points. That's just how it goes. But it must be before. It must be before the game against Aston Villa. Has to be.
I know I asked you if there was any chance of any misquotes, but when I found out that this Don speaks about 6 languages, no way. This guy is saying it with chest. So yeah, hugely shocking, to be honest. And again, this almost adds a little bit of an extra spice, a bit of more spark now to this game, because does it now take away a bit of pressure on Chelsea? And does it actually maybe make you think, well, we're in turmoil here in terms of our leading striker wanting to leave? Any result that we can get, because it not only is it affecting his mental state, this is surely going to slip through the team now and maybe even ruin the dressing room. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking a bit too soon, but when I see that on this stream, that's how I think, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I can't even process everything that's going on. We've already got 3. We've already got 3 defenders' contracts running out on Saturday.
Unlike Trudon says Rosetta Stone settings. Come on, G. 40-year-old Virgil says, I like Lukaku's honesty. He doesn't want to play for oil teams. Fair enough. Players' mentality is key. Modern footballers, flip ballers. That's so true. How can you just be so settled at Inter, get your stuff, move to Chelsea, and now say you want to go back to Inter? What is this? Like some... what is this? Some year 7 relationship holding hands in the playground with content, and in the next break time you're back? It's mad. Anyway, Jamie says, Matisse and Alex, the problem with Lukaku is that he doesn't have the mentality and hunger to break down them walls. Lewandowski and Benzema are clear of him, not world class. I mean, listen, Lukaku's goal tally in his career in all games, international, club level, unbelievable. You can't dispute them. They're actually underrated in a way. You look at some of the greats, and I think he's maybe gone past them. But at this stage in his career, when you've just made this move back, it just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Solomon's late. You're going to have to rewind to go back and see what Matisse thinks. But listen, bro, I want you to give me a score prediction. Like I said, guys, I've gone with a Liverpool away win to make it 3 in a row at the Bridge on Who Knows Wins. Let me know in the comments if you're thinking the same. Matisse, what is that score going to be on Sunday at 4:30 under the lights at Stamford Bridge?
I'll go 1-1. I think it's going to be a
1-1.
draw. That's the best I can hope for us right
Best
now.
you can hope for is a draw.
Yeah, after all this nonsense going out, especially this now as well, I'll take a draw. For me, it's almost like the battle for second. And if we do draw and Man City go and do the business against Arsenal, then that's it, done.
But what
yeah,
happens,
that's just me being realistic.
What happens if this happens, right? I mean, again, we can't rely on Arsenal to do anything. However,
no, absolutely not.
Let's say
You don't even believe this, but go on.
I don't believe this, but it's, I've got to do. I'm the presenter, hypothetical. I mean, I'm doing AFTV previews next week in London, so I'll be saying the same thing to Robbie's face, trust me. But let's just say Arsenal nick a little 1-0 win at the Emirates at home to City, and Liverpool score a last-minute winner away at Stamford Bridge. Does that surely open it up again for you? Because that can happen. I don't think Man City are going to go the whole season without losing. I do think they will lose.
I think it could. I think it could potentially, but I can't really process that happening because I don't think it will happen. But if it does happen, I still believe City's depth right now, and that's more to do with their depth and then the time that we're in with all of these cases, and it probably spring up again with some nuanced variant over next. I don't know. Like, it's just the time we're in. You need depth, and Liverpool, I know. And the one thing I know of Liverpool is they're not going to improve their team in January.
Which is an absolute disgrace, by the way.
It's a joke, but you're not going to bring in the players that you need to bring in January. I don't know what we're doing, but God knows, we'll see. I just seen that we tried to bring back Emerson and Leon said no, so I don't know where the ambition's gone there. That was just foolishness.
Oh, wow.
I've got a lot to say on Chelsea right now.
Yeah. I feel like, I feel like you need to jump on your channel and go ham right now, bro, before Big Six.
I'm going to go on a rant, bro, but yeah, it's just, so for me, I just think City's depth is best equipped to deal with this situation with all of these uncertain times that we're in, and probably the only squad right now equipped to deal with it, because you need to have depth and then you also need to have quality depth. We've got depth, but we don't have quality depth, and that's been shown. City have got both, so I think City they're just too strong right now with what they've got.
When I mentioned Arsenal, a lot of people in the comments saying Arsenal winning against City. Do you know what? You're not as savages to Arsenal, Arsenal will be back to reality soon. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Bit of hope there from Chris M. Obviously, Origi, who is our kind of strength and depth, has disappeared since that Wolves winner. I think people are kind of wanting you to jump on your own channel now. So we will finish up very shortly. Jump on a space ASAP. Love that. Listen, Matisse, you've been a pleasure as always, bro. Thank you for getting involved. I'm going to let you go now. He's going for a draw. I'm going for a Liverpool win at the Bridge. And Matisse is absolutely fuming at these Lukaku quotes. My brother, I'll see you very shortly, and take care and all the best for Sunday.
In a bit, bro. Thank you.
He's getting off to absolutely ruin Lukaku. Trust me, he's gone. He's gone. Big up to Matisse. He is now gone. But once again, just before we finish, I've got to say a massive shout out to our sponsors this week. Who Knows Wins. Here's my picks, and here's the pot prize, guys, to everyone watching right now. £5,000 you can win if you enter the 10 pick league on Who Knows Wins. It costs £5. As you can see, I've done my picks here. So if you beat me and you enter, you'll win £3,000 if you finish first. But also, you're going to take home a Liverpool match ticket. I will personally buy you a match ticket if you can beat my predictions. How about that? Unbelievable prizes here on the Kop TV. I'll get you a match ticket if you finish above me. Second place that finishes above me will get some Apple AirPods and £100 playing credit on the Who Knows Wins app. And third place will take home some T-shirts, some hoodies, a mug when all the Kop TV merch does come out in January. So a lot to win in Who Knows Wins this week. Please use the link in the description right now after this video. Join the app, jump in with Pick 10 to join the Pick 10s leagues, and find me as a featured player and see if you can beat me on Who Knows Wins this week on the New Year's Day special. A lot of games going on. Liverpool on the 2nd, so not quite New Year's Day. But it isn't free. You have to put £5 in, but do it, mate. It's worth it. £5 and you could win £3,000 pot. That's 70% of the pot. And I found out actually, because there's 65 entrants right now, even if you finish 10th or 15th, you win a tenner. So it's worth it. Either way, whatever way you look at it, it is worth it. Of course, gamble responsibly. And you do have to be 18 to play. But like I said, if you are looking to jump in and be involved in that unreal... it is unreal, by the way. Not many people are giving away match tickets. Let me just say that. So the fact that that is happening means that you should get involved with the link in the description now and get involved with Who Knows Wins. Guys, that's been your match preview. Chelsea versus Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. There's Gus asleep on the sofa over there. As you can see, my little Don, man like Gus, he's just had his dinner. He's a bit tired, to be fair. But it's been a great stream. A lot of you guys tuned in. A lot of amazing reaction to those funny Lukaku quotes that have come in. What are they about? Is this going to affect him? Will Lukaku play? Will he score against Liverpool? I've gone for an away win on Who Knows Wins. Like I said, come and beat me. Win these prizes. Win these prizes. They're up for grabs. Someone has to win them, and it could be you. Cash plus big prizes to win on the Who Knows Wins app. Guys, I will see you on Sunday outside Jurgen's. I'll be doing the match day vlog and the fan cams as usual. Also, on Monday, we'll be back with hot Kopics, me and James. And then Tuesday morning, me and James are getting a very early train down to London. We're going to be doing a super fan debate on Arsenal Fan TV. That's on Tuesday. And of course, we will be doing previews whilst we're down there for the Liverpool-Arsenal game in the League Cup next week. The Arsenal-Liverpool game, I should say. And then obviously it's the return leg the week after. So don't worry, AFTV previews are coming up. Don Robbie previews are coming up. We've got Hot Topics coming up. And, of course, the big one on Sunday. All sponsored by Who Knows Wins. So make sure you do get involved with the firm. Big up to Diogo for sending some love to Gus. Can I take Gus to Jurgen's? Yeah, I think I will, mate. Especially if we do beat Chelsea. T-Boy saying that video will bang. Trust me. Any AFTV preview, collab, combined 11, it always bangs, and a super fan debate always bangs as well on AFTV. So there's hella content coming out on the channel next year as well. Like I said, we're setting up the shop so you guys can buy t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, pens. We're also doing Patreon from next year. So if you guys pay, I think it's maybe about £5 or £6 extra per month, you're going to get 2 extra videos from the Kop TV that you won't get on here. We're really looking to elevate the channel next year. Obviously, we're just shy of 16,000 subscribers on here. We've also got 10,000 followers now on Instagram. I'm not going to lie, guys. You have smashed it this year. You really have. This is the last video that will go out in 2021. I think we started off the year with maybe 3,000 subs. So the fact that, you know, in this year we've not only gone past 10K, which was my original goal, but we've also got to 15 and we're pushing on to 16 before the end of the year. So it's unbelievable. 1.25 million views now. I think the channel in total has got about 13 million impressions since it started on YouTube. So a lot of people know about the Kop TV now, and that's all thanks to you guys. We couldn't do any of it without you. So every single person that has, you know, watched, put a super chat in, made a comment on the channel, subscribed, hit the bell. Trust me, every single person, it's massively appreciated. And obviously, man like Gus over there is the biggest Kop TV mascot as well. So he's flying the flag. Mark says, don't bring Ruby to Jurgen. She's a jinx, bro. I can't say that. I could never agree with you there, mate. You have smashed it with great content. Thank you very much, T-Boy. Big up to yourself. But there you go. There's your match preview of Matisse. Big up to our sponsors again. Who Knows Wins. Massive week of content coming for the Kop TV. Make sure you're involved. Press that subscriber button. And here's a little goodbye from myself and Doyle.
Whoa. Just before you go,
don't forget, give us a like, drop us a comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.